Okay, welcome again. We are now inside the museum and we are going to ask Abraham some hard questions. Come on, my friend. So, did you expect? No, no, come this.
Okay.
Did you expect this amount of antiquities here in this museum?
Yes, I expect.
Okay.
I want.
Because you don't know how much we have here until we start touring inside. We have here almost 10,000 huge pieces like these sizes, and we have hundreds of thousands of small, tiny pieces. Okay, let me tell you, this section is what we call it the pre-dynastic section. Pre-dynastic, this is the beginning of civilization in ancient Egypt before the dynasties. We say the dynasties started 3500 BC. Okay? So, dynastic means what? Means primitive people. They were collecting the fruits, they were hunting animals, killing wild animals, living in caves. So there was no civilization like we understand. It's like the story of the caveman. Okay? And they started to have communities, live together, small communities getting bigger and bigger, and then villages and towns and communities. Okay? So we found some objects in very primitive tombs. So we know that such objects belong to this era, the pre-dynastic. So let's see some of the things were found in these tombs. We found pottery jars in different designs, like this one, with a tall neck and decoration, some kind of art. They represent hippopotamus. This one was a group of ladies holding hands. That one almost plain, and this one there, and another pottery jar here. Okay. So if I tell you this is primitive, no problem, right? Do you see any problem with?
This one is high quality. I like
So you see now, Abraham actually started to understand that I am preparing a trick for him. that was a trick for you. Why? Because you can see that there are other objects in the same showcase, but doesn't belong to the same design. But here is the surprise that both or all of them are found in the same tomb. Okay, so if we say this was made by a primitive person, so who made this? Who made this piece from diorite? And this is true gold, what we are looking at. Okay, so the one who made this is the same one who made that.
I don't think so.
Okay, and this one also. This one is made out of a material called chest or slate. Okay, it is not very hard stone, but it is very delicate. It needs very sensitive tools. And other pieces like here, come here. Okay, this alabaster blade, also very complicated. Like, not complicated to the dynastic times, like New Kingdom, they can do it, but pre-dynastic, that is impossible. Look to this piece, also granite diorite, and if you see how the name was written, that is one of the names of the early rulers of Egypt. The name is written in a very ugly way. And this kind of miracle here, one plate with many edges or deep layers, still the same stone, that is one piece of a stone. Okay, and this one and that one. So what is happening here? Come this way. Yeah. Okay. So back to our story. So this is okay. This is pre-dynastic. No problem. Okay. And this is maybe could be called pre-dynastic. Okay. But this amethyst jar is not pre-dynastic. This is from amethyst. And This is from hard kind of granite. Okay. So here is a question. Do we have amethyst in Egypt? No, we don't. Okay. Amethyst is from Afghanistan, which is very, very far away from Egypt. So primitive man who is barely survived will go to Afghanistan and bring amethyst, and they are going to do this jar. So there is something strange in this story. So what happened? What is your opinion? This is look. This is a very fine piece, and look, they made. We call this hand, right? So they made it to look like real hand. See? Okay. What do you think?
I think the more antique
Okay.
pieces were
Made
they were made some time ago.
exactly
Before and
in a civilization
so
before this one.
So the tomb was like dynastic, right? Or
Okay.
maybe.
Exactly.
And
So that is my opinion. So
Yeah, for
the
them-
pre-dynastic people found these things
Yeah,
which
and they
belong
keep
to belong to an earlier civilization, and they kept them. They used them, and after they died, they put it in their tombs. That is perfect. Okay, because there are some strange objects. So this is like a game. Okay, we don't know exactly how they used to play it. This is another game like chess or backgammon. And we're still in the section of the pre-dynastic, by the way. Okay. Come to this is also, it's in my opinion, very, very difficult to do. Okay. It is all gems and semi-precious stones, but how they can make the hole inside that very small bead? Okay, like especially this one. This one, can you see? It's like a sand size. So with what kind of tool they made the hole for the string to go through? Also, if we think that dealing with stones or with physical material is hard, also to have ideas and knowledge about the stars and the universe is even harder for primitive people. Okay, look to this design, like a tree. It was called the cosmic cow or celestial cow. What does it mean, celestial cow? This is a way to hide the real name. The real name is our galaxy. This is the Milky Way galaxy. So, but in ancient Egypt, they call it the cosmic cow or celestial cow. So really the primitive person was aware with the galaxy. Okay. And do you find that this is interesting that they call it cow and we call it Milky Way, which is still close to each other?
Some relation.
Yes. Come, I want to show you now the comparison between a talented worker with regular tool and the advanced technology. Like this statue for a person like a priest, beginning of the third dynasty. You see, this is talented worker. Maybe the work is not super great, okay? And any person you will explain this to him, he will agree with you. Why? Because it's a small size. So you tell him that this is a statue made during the third dynasty, he will say, okay. But when you tell him that this is a statue dynastic, they will say no. This is lost technology. No, that is not lost technology. This again is the work of a talented worker after great development happened during the New Kingdom time. You know why? Because the Egyptian civilization, the dynastic, they lasted for 3,000 years. This is a long time to develop. So they must develop. How we know? Come. Okay, number we can see, yes, they went deeper a little bit with the tool, which reflect a great talent, but still not perfect like the other one. Look to can you feel the bones here? No, we cannot. But still very good work. They tried to make it like almost perfect, but you can see if you come here, look, it is not perfect cut, which is still like very high quality. Now come to the masterpiece. See, look, they show you every detail and they let you feel that. See, you can feel the bones on the front. Look to the knee. Okay, look to how they show the muscles, how they can easily go deeper, how they can represent the inner lines. So you tell me, do you feel big difference between both?
Yeah.
Right?
Watching at these lines.
Isn't it? So when I
The
call
deep.
this advanced tool, you agree with me, and when I call that talented worker, you agree with me. So remember when we look behind, so come and compare between, you cannot even see the line because it is all smoothed, level together, right?